Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone tuning in tonight for our Sunshine State Conference matchup as the visiting Tampa Spartans make the short drive up I-75 to the host St. Leo University Lions. My name is Spencer Henke. I'd like to thank all the Lions and Spartan fans alike for tuning in tonight as we have a perfect night for a little Tampa rivalry taking place as the Tampa Spartans get things kicked off underway here. St. Leo fresh off a big comeback victory that saw them score 3 goals in the second half as Noah Quifty's in on goal early already, and there's shouts for a penalty kick. But very quickly that penalty appeal is thrown away as the Lions were in on goal rather quickly there as a great through ball was put in towards the feet of Quifty, who had gotten a first touch there and looked like had become the recipient of a foul due to a little bit of contact, but nonetheless this rivalry gets kicked off with a bang that goes in the favor of the Spartans there with that call. Tampa comes in with a 4-3-2 record as the Spartans starting 11 sees Froster in goal there, who again had that early call of action. The rest of their starting lineup rounded out with number 2 Morales, number 3 Numgete, number 6 Kraft, number 8 Newman, number 9 Fernandez, number 10 Tall, number 12 Ledon, number 19 Quinn, number 22 Wells, and number 24 Nicholas. The host Lions and Coach Brett Parker put out a relatively familiar starting 11 as Ceballos mans the goal once again for the Lions, with the rest of his side rounding out with number 2 Dolce, number 3 Cordero, number 10 Diaz, number 11 Quifty, number 12 Rojas, number 13 Taylor, number 16 Brusaka, number 18 Mendez, number 22 Sabarski, and number 28 Kernak. Lions finally starting to return to some full squad health after injuries have plagued them all year long, which was a big accountant of their midseason losing streak. But again, talked about it first when we went on air, that big come-from-behind victory that St. Leo had against Embry-Riddle in their last time out on the road after finding themselves down 2-0 at half, but finding a way with 3 second-half goals to pick up their first Sunshine State Conference victory on the year, which was a vital 3 points. And talking with Coach Brett Parker, he feels as though it really showed his guys that the belief that they felt early on in the year with 2 ranked victories early on that saw the Lions coming in with the number 9 ranking in the country was still there, and he hopes that it propels them to a little win streak here, which is almost necessary if you're speaking in terms of not only making the Sunshine State Conference tournament on the men's side of thing, but more importantly, what all these guys would love to do is have an NCAA tournament bid, and they feel as though it's going to take a bunch of consecutive victories in a row, but again, the Lions have shown all year that they're able to hang with anyone and beat anyone. It's just about a matter of being able to execute their game plan night in and night out. So, again, they had an early penalty shout there that would have been a step in the right direction to build off what they are coming off of in their last time out, but nonetheless, they've regained possession here after a little flurry of Tampa forward attack. Ceballos trying to link up there with Quifty with a long ball forward, unable to do so as the Spartans regain possession in midfield, and some nice feet are put in there, but the ever-reliable Jurgen Mendez is quick to hop onto that loose ball and regain possession for St. Leo as Rojas tries to chase that one down on the far side, but that one's going to be seen out of play by a Tampa head for a St. Leo throw-in. Can expect an extremely physical matchup tonight with these two close rivals, knowing much of each other, as it's a battle for the Tampa area tonight, as Diaz puts in a tough challenge there. But some nice feet are shown there by Nicholas for the Spartans, but a little bit of a miscommunication between the back line and the on-rushing forwards for the Spartans. Sees that ball roll all the way back to Ceballos. Great to see number 13, Harrison Taylor, back into action here for the Lions, as he was a namesay in the starting 11 last year for Coach Parker, but an injury had plagued him all year long, and he's been unable to fully be fit until the last couple times out for the Lions. So great to see the big center back in there as he partners with Brusaka tonight, which slides Kernack out to the left back position, who had been playing primarily in a center back position with Brusaka, as Diaz gets a foul there and wins his side. A free kick after a little bit of a delay by field official. Saw play continue, but the sideline official decided that that challenge was deemed unsuccessful, as Diaz seemed to got a little bit of a knock there in his right eye, but it's a little pat on the back from Mendez and regains his footing here, as St. Leo has an opportunity here from a free kick position that Diaz stands over here. As Sabarski provides some width here on this free kick, that's going to force the second man in the wall out for the Spartans, as Diaz sees what he likes and fires in a right-footed cross here towards the back post that Kernack rises for but is unable to reach, as Cordero tries to keep this one in for the Lions, as a little back heel there, sees the ball stay alive, as a quick snap cross didn't find a white jersey, as Tampa has a chance to transition here as this first touch is put in. But again, a shout for a foul against the Lions is deemed not necessary there by the field official, as there's been some great physicality early on, which is exactly what you could expect from this type of rivalry matchup. So something to pay attention to all night long. Is a nice pass in between the lines. Sees Quifty with some room to operate, but that pass is dug out there by a Spartan midfielder, Sean Quinn, as both teams again try to gain the upper hand here early on, as again St. Leo would love to build on what they put together in that second half against Embry-Riddle in their last time out, as Tampa continues a high pressure here against the Lions. Nice little back heel is put in for Diaz that rolls a ball towards Rojas, who had opted for a dummy but was unable to find any separation, as Tampa dealt with that nicely as they look to build on the far side of the field. Some nice feet are shown there, as Tampa has a little bit of an Atlanta United look to their uniforms tonight, with all my MLS fans tuning in, as Big Harry steps in on that one and sends a ball out of play. That ball dealt with nicely there by the Lions, as it's ultimately cleared towards the feet of Quifty, but the big forward's unable to deal with that initially, but nonetheless it falls to the feet of Kernack, who again, for those that may have been tuning in all year long, found himself in the center back role for much of the year for St. Leo, with Big Harry out with a hamstring injury, but now that the defender's recovered and well, it allows Coach Parker to play with his lineup a little bit more and send things out, as Kernack puts in a foul there that's going to see him pick up a yellow card early on. So the normal center back position to left back today is the first one to go into the book here for the Lions, as a through ball in behind saw the potential break for the Spartans on, but Tactical foul was put in there by Kernack to slow things down as Tampa earns their first free kick opportunity of the night as they send their big center backs forward, trying to be first to this cross sent in. This ball is going to be fired in here by the Spartans. That is a little bit short, but broke to captain Fernandez there for the Spartans, who had a volley attempt sky over the bar, but a little bit of mishit there actually turned into something of fruition there for the Spartans with an opportunity half being all said, but nonetheless Tampa with a shot there that skies over Ceballos' bar as the graduate goalie pushes his team forward out from the back and gets ready to launch a long ball forward as Tampa's first to that header there. And the ball's going to stay in play there on the near side as the captain Fernandez makes a darting run into the box there. So he throws some good feet, hits the post. Follow-up attempt is dealt with there by the Lions as a coming together on the outside of the box is going to see a Spartan pick up a yellow card as well as Till Newman tried to follow up on Fernandez's shot that had deflected off of Ceballos' right side post and ultimately bounced to the edge of the box that saw Ander Dolce put a foot in there but was collided into by Newman as the Lions escaped danger there. A great through ball was put in between the lines as Fernandez got to it first there for the Spartans, showed some nice feet to get around Big Harry in the back for the Lions. And his shot beat Ceballos but crashed off of his right side post, much to the happiness of Coach Parker and the rest of Lions Nation, as the Lions escape danger there 100%, as Dolce seems to be okay as his athletic trainer Susan Cross heads out and provides some care there to the midfielder, but good to see him back on his feet as the injured Spartan continues to seek some treatment there. Again, though, you can see the quality of that Tampa possessions and how quickly they turned relatively few opportunities into a great sight on goal, as it seems as though Till Newman seems to be okay. But Newman's going to depart the pitch here as Travis Foster comes on for the injured forward. Again, Newman had his eyes open wide as that ball bounced off the post and had an opportunity to potential foul, but Dolce was first to it there for the Lions and ultimately won his side possession back as play restarts here with the Ceballos goal kick, as Rojas is first to that there for the Lions. Sabarski had made a run in there. Some nice interplay there between Quifty and Rojas. Comes off initially, but Tampa's able to deal with that as the ball is played through the lines towards Quifty. Tampa digs that one out quickly as they try to calm things down a little bit in the midfield with Sean Quinn switching play. Nice crowd on hand here tonight for the Lions faithful, as there's a number of student athletes here supporting the men's soccer team with our Athletes for Athletes initiative, as Sabarski opts to clear that long ball forward, much to the dismay of Coach Parker, as his header comes off a little wayward and gives Tampa the first corner kick opportunity of the game. As the Spartans give corner kick responsibilities to Omar Tall. as his right-footed corner is sent in towards the back post. Lions ride quickly that, but a miss hit in the box sees Tampa with an opportunity as a bicycle. A kick attempt is put in there by Fernandez. Looked as though Mendez's header came off a little wayward there for the Lions as that ball broke nicely there for a half opportunity for Fernandez on the bicycle kick. But the captain was unable to convert that there for the Spartans. But dangerous moments here in the last 5 minutes or so for St. Leo as Fernandez has proven to be a menace for the Lions with a shot crashing off the post and another opportunity just now going high off what seemed to be a decent amount of time and space there. So definitely someone to watch tonight throughout this matchup for St. Leo and how they're able to slow the Spartans captain down as Fernandez gets called into action quickly again, but a foul is going to be given away before play continues as Sabarski had impeded a Spartan left back who had cut in there from the left side into action as this free kick is in dangerous range here for Ceballos in goal, so it's going to be ultra important here that he gets his wall right as well as the rest of the Lions mark up these Spartan forwards that are going to try and get on any deflected efforts or a potential early cross as, again, Tall stands over this one for the Spartans as he opts for a quick through ball option, but it doesn't come off there as Rojas had done his job there in the wall and regained possession, tried to play in Diaz going forward, but had picked up a hard foul in the process as Coach Parker rises to his feet and requests a first booking there for the Spartans, but gets waved off there in his claims as Dolce picks his head up and loops a ball forward towards Sparski as the Spartans are quick to hop on this. You can see this quick pressure that they put the Lions on as soon as St. Leo tries to break forward as coming together there sees an advantage played here by field official, overlapping run on the far side by the Spartans right back, fires in a right-footed cross. It's Fernandez again as the captain fires a headed effort down towards Ceballos' goal, but Ricky's quick to react to that one there. But again, you can see the danger that Fernandez possesses as the 6'1 senior forward has his head, foot, and every other body part at the moment all over this game early on here for the Spartans as he's been unsuccessful to find the back of the net so far. Thankful for the Lions fans tuning in, but definitely you can see the emphasis that Fernandez has in this Spartan attack. So someone, again, as I mentioned a few moments ago, to really keep your eye on for the St. Leo side of things as Cordero gets a ball played out wide to him and tries to fire in a right-footed cross towards Quifty and Rojas, but is unable to do so. But the Lions are quickly able to regain possession here with Mendez picking that loose ball up. Harry's trying to find one teammate going forward, but Taylor is unable to find a Lions teammate and opts for the safe route going back as St. Leo, again, had that early first 30 seconds penalty shout as Quifty made a run in behind and picked up a little contact in the process, but was waved away. And since then, it's been all Spartans as they've dominated possession, had the Lions' share, no pun intended, of good opportunities, but a great switch of play there by Dolce. Sees Cordero with a chance going forward, but Tiago's unable to deal with that one as Tampa pushes the line forward with Brusaka switching play here to Taylor through the back for St. Leo as Harrison Taylor picks his head up and fires a ball towards Noah Quifty, but is unable to link up with the forward. Noah got a little soccer touches in last night in the men's basketball Moonlight Madness event as he was part of the dunk contest and partnered up with Santia Ramin for a dunk attempt that they weren't able to pull off, but the creativity was there as that ball is played out there from the back by the Spartans goalie to maintain possession here for the Lions. Diaz brought down there that field official didn't wave as a foul. Sideline official didn't wave as a foul, but field official did. So the Lions with another free kick opportunity here as Diaz earns that free kick for the Lions. A dangerous position here for the right-footed Diaz to whip in a tantalizing cross for his forwards and center backs that have made their way forward. Again, the big head of Harrison Taylor and Federico Brusacca definitely target men here for Diaz's cross as he gets ready to fire this one in towards the back post. That's there is met by the head of Rojas, but the forward's header skied over the bar. But again, you could see Brusacca, Rojas, and Taylor all in the mix there on that cross in by Diaz, which is exactly the targets you want to aim for if you're a Lions fan there, as they're able to sky over their opponents night in and night out. But Spartans able to deal with that one as they quickly break here on the far side of the field as they try a little 1-2 play there on that byline, but doesn't come off initially there for the Spartans. Rojas trying to hold off this flurry of Spartan press that the Lions have found themselves over, as a nice touch is put in there by Rojas initially to spark a Lions counter, but a little miscommunication there between Diaz and Rojas sees that ball roll out of play as, again, St. Leo tries to crack this Spartan code that has seen Tampa strike the post as well as have a number of shots on goal already within the first 19 minutes of action. But Ceballos has been both able to deal with the Spartan shots as well as have a little bit of luck on his side as, again, Fernandez's shot fired off of Ceballos' right-sided post to keep things scoreless thus far as Ceballos inches forward there, fires the ball towards Rojas, who gets his head to it first. But not many white jerseys there to meet that second ball as Tampa continues to push forward here. Ball played out wide here to the Spartan substitute forward, who shows some nice feet, clips the ball up and over towards goal as Ceballos shows little theatrics there to keep that ball in play. Again, a perfect night for some Sunshine State Conference soccer as the weather here in the St. Leo area has been perfect after the concerns of Hurricane Ian. Saw lots of rain and wind, but since then it's been almost perfect in terms of Florida weather as we head into the dry season here in Florida, which all of Lions country becomes thankful for, to experience this warm weather all year long. As Tampa won a free kick there after a physical challenge was put in. Long ball is going to be looped forward here. That's going to call Brusacca into action that the big Italian deals with nicely there as he holds off Fernandez and heads back to Ceballos, who can restart play quickly here for the Lions as Quifty's going to see this one fall to his chest. That Diaz plays forward towards Rojas. Again, some interchanging play there by the Lions forward. Sees Rojas continue forward, but Anel didn't have much up his sleeve there, as he loses that ball out of play. But Dolce holds off the onrushing Spartan to maintain possession. But again, St. Leo struggling a bit so far through our first half action, really mustering up many opportunities going forward. So something for them to talk about, think about here as play continues with the Spartans back on the ball. Quick feet put in there as Tampa charges forward. Lions defenders able to ultimately pull off number 15, Foster, there as he made a darting run in from his left wing position towards the center of the Lions box. This ball rolls out of play here for a Spartan throw-in. Nicholas going to have throw-in duties here for the Spartans as he plays the feet here to a teammate, but that one's unable to come off as Rojas tries to regain possession quickly here for the Lions, but is unable to do so. But ultimately, this ball is going to roll back to Ceballos in goal as the graduate goalie shows a little juggling skill there that's going to force the Spartan to charge down on him as Ceballos picks up the ball here and pushes his home white uniform teammates forward. Ceballos' long ball aimed towards Quifty. It's met by the head of Quinn there for the Spartans. Free kick taken quickly there. As Tampa opted through the feet of Morales there to take a quick free kick that went straight to a Lions white home uniform, but the ball was still rolling there. That ultimately gives Tampa a second bite of the apple as Sabarski puts under some pressure there. But again, the great feat there by Foster keeps possession there as the substitute forward came on after an injured Spartan left the field, but Foster showing some great feet early on. Proves the danger and the squad depth that the Spartans have as they try to switch play here. That's going to force Sabarski into an intervention, but it doesn't come off for him there as the ball broke there for Nicholas, who had cut into his right foot off his left back position, but his shot was fired wide right if you're facing Ceballos' goal. Wide left from your guys' vantage point from our broadcast tonight. As we head into the crucial period of soccer season here in the Sunshine State Conference, both for men and women alike, as teams continue to jockey for position, not only in terms of conference rankings and making the conference tournament, but as every team starts the year out and hoping in doing so, those rankings within the regions that will ensure NCAA tournament berth and bids. As again, Coach Parker's team seem to be well on their way towards that type of performance throughout the start of their season, picking up a number of victories. But injury bugs have plagued the Lions once again this year that slowed down the early start to the year as Fernandez is taken down there by Brusaka. That's going to give the Spartans another free kick opportunity here that I'm sure Fernandez favors, as the senior forward, again, has been a focal point in what Tampa's done so far tonight, as he continues to be a menace in the sides of the Lions, as it looks like he favors this free kick. As Fernandez stands over this, runs up on this free kick, fires in a right-footed shot that breaks to a Spartan on-rushing attacker again as Tampa crashes yet another shot off the post. As another second bite of the apple is fired in, and ultimately Morales fires a shot wide, as I was blocked off there and was unable to see which Spartan struck the post on the far side there. But that makes both sides of Ceballos' goal side posts seeing Spartan efforts crash off. Like I said, both sides of Ceballos' post here in the first half, which is a little bit of a cup half empty feeling if you're a Spartan fan, given the fact that very easily an inch or two either way could have saw Tampa with a 2-0 lead here early on, midway through the first half, but nonetheless we remain scoreless as Tampa gets ready to make another substitution. Harrison Taylor taken off that there by Fernandez. As again, Tampa has dominated much of our early action here tonight, with St. Leo trying to crack this Spartan code as Tampa gets ready to again make a further substitution as Ceballos keeps ball in play. That's going to prevent the Spartans from making that substitution yet, as Nicholas climbs over the back there of Rojas. That's going to give the Lions another free kick, as the Spartans head coach Adrian Bush is not happy with that call, as he felt that was a fair challenge put in there by his left back. But the only opinion that matters in the case is field official, who deemed a free kick here for the Lions. That Diaz stands over and fires in with some whip on it, as Dolce met that but impeded a Spartan in the process of doing so. Harrison Taylor first to that there for the Lions as Jurgen Mendez fouls up. A little bit of a pinball action here by both sides, but a foul ultimately given against the Lions there for a challenge put in on the quick-footed Travis Foster for Tampa. Diaz fires that ball out of play as the Lions ready a double substitution as Jurgen Mendez departs the pitch and Federico Telechea comes on, along with Luca Tiozo coming on for Noah Quifty. And number 7, Arnaldo Zakiri coming on for the Spartans, as both coaches dive into their bench as we head into our last 15 minutes of action here in this first half. Tampa dominating a lot of possession early on. They have another corner kick opportunity here. As that long corner is met by a Spartan on the back post. The ball continues to bounce around, but Sobarski opts for the safe route and fires that ball back out of play for another Spartan corner. This ball is fired in again towards the back post for the Spartans, as Ceballos shouts to his defenders to let that one roll back to his hands. Tiozo called into action early on here, as he just is subbed on here for the Lions. Cordero pushing St. Leo forward. But, again, a flurry of black jerseys wins the ball back here for the visiting Spartans as Sabarski puts in a foul there on Foster, but Tampa is able to maintain possession as play continues, as a snapshot is blocked. There's Tampa continues to build on this far side. Some nice feet are put in to maintain possession as Zakiri is on this, but his chip ball forward is unable to come off there. Ceballos is off his line and deals with it. St. Leo's taking their time here, restarting possession. Shouts there against a foul against Rojas. But nothing doing there for St. Leo as Tiozo tries to continue forward. Diaz has stayed forward, but the ball just doesn't break there for the Lions number 10 as Spartans continue their surge forward here. Again, lots of physicality that you see is going to see St. Leo's right back Jared Sabarski pick up a yellow card. I think this is a case of a number of fouls adding up here for the Lions right back.
Number 22, Jared Sabarski.
As St. Leo now has 2 bookings here in this first half. As play stops, I'll field official finishes his marking of Sabarski's yellow card. This ball is going to roll all the way out there off this free kick for a Lions goal kick. That's going to see some more substitutions on the way as Sebastian Inigo comes on here for the Lions for Angel Rojas.
Double sub for the Spartans, checking in number 11, Amgad Sula. And number 21, Elijah St. Mark.
Salah coming on here for the Spartans along with St. Mark. So Tampa making some further forward substitutions. Full credit to Travis Foster for the work he put in there after being forced onto action early on due to a Spartan injury, as he really sparked up a lot of forward play for the Spartans, as St. Leo's penalized there for a handball on the far side. This ball is going to be fired forward towards the Lions' back line, but nothing's doing there for the Spartans, as Harrison Taylor, again, was quick to react to that one. Again, great to see Harrison back in the starting 11 for the Lions, as the big, tall defender from Australia battled a number of injuries early on in the season. Saw him miss more game time than I'm sure Coach Parker, Harrison, and all of Lions Nation would have liked to see. As, again, you know the quality and the presence that Harrison brings towards that back line. And, again, having such a rock in the back, for lack of better terms, for Coach Parker allows him, again, now with Harrison healthy, to slide Kernack out wide, have the use of Cordero, again, which was not necessarily available for Coach Parker with Harrison Taylor out, as
number 31, Tyler Velasquez.
Tyler Velasquez comes on here for Sabarski, which a little bit of a gamemanship move here by Coach Parker, as Sabarski has picked up a number of fouls here in this first half and had been penalized with a recent yellow card. So, chance for Sabarski to regain his footing a little bit and try to calm down his emotions a little as that ball from Ceballos is played out. Teozo putting the Spartans under some pressure here, but they're able to deal with his one-man press as Velasquez is put in to action early on. Initially halts Nicholas there for Tampa, but not able to build anything too major with a mishit there in the Spartans' goal, seeing the ball stay in their defensive half. Seems as though the Spartans are just one notch above the Lions right now in terms of their reaction to second balls, first balls, a little bit of initiative. But, again, all it takes is one spark here for St. Leo to get them on the scoreboard, which, again, they seem to be inches away from having a golden opportunity in doing so within the first 30 seconds of the game. As this one breaks here, again, just talking about it, with Inigo pushing forward, Teozo gets the ball played to his feet as the big forward tries to hold off play, does so nicely there with a ball out wide to Velasquez, who again tries to maintain possession. Dolce switches play. Cordero and Diaz on the far side with a chance. Right-footed shots fired in towards Teozo's big head, but is unable to meet that. Inigo first to this one here for the Lions. As a little spell here, sees St. Leo with a number of opportunities. Ball played back to Dolce, but Tampa's able to deal with this initial flurry for the first time tonight by St. Leo, but Kernack makes his way forward from left back position, plays a ball out wide, which is going to be played into the feet of Teozo. Ball breaks nicely here as Cordero tried to set up a right-footed shot from distance there outside the box, but was unable to do so. Harrison Taylor puts Ceballos in a dangerous position here as Fernandez is clattered into with Ceballos there, as again Harrison Taylor mishit that back pass a little there and left it short to Ceballos, but the graduate goalie was the first to that ball, which saw a free kick go in his favor. Big shouts there from the Lions coaching staff for that foul put in on their goalie, as they felt that that offense against Ceballos was yellow card worthy. As Ceballos seems to be okay after that collision. As again, talked about the expected physicality that we were going to see tonight in this rivalry match, let alone, but also just given the fact that both these teams are jockeying for conference position. As, again, both sides have seen some points drop throughout the year and would love to build off their recent efforts. As Ortiz gets ready to come on here for the Lions. Get another physical coming together. Sees a player waved off as Teozo's first to this long ball forward. Inigo has plenty of space on the back post, but difficult duty for the forward to pick his head up and find there as Coach Parker encourages his side to build here in their attack. Diaz doing nicely there to win his side a corner. As Brandon Ortiz is ready to come on here for the Lions, but they're going to wait till after St. Leo takes this corner kick that sees Diaz and Inigo over right now. 5 minutes left here in our first half. A great chance here for St. Leo to go down the board. Maybe slow down this Spartan attack that they've seen all night as Diaz fires in a cross towards the back post. That's met by Brusaka, who was falling away from goal, so no real chance going forward. As this ball is still maintained and kept here by Cordero on the far side. As Ortiz is finally ready to regain the action here.
Checking in for the
with
Lions, number 35, Brenda Silva Ortiz.
Ortiz coming on for Dolce. And for the Spartans, number 16.
And now in for the Spartans, number 16, Marcelo Valbuena.
Marcelo Valbuena coming on for Prince Nguike in the back. So a center back change here for the visiting Spartans. And just trying to keep some fresh legs here. St. Leo slowing things down a little bit here as we approach the halftime whistle. Brusaka picks his head up and tries to link up with Tiozzo, who he had thought was going to make a run in on the back line of the Spartans, but the big Italian forward opted not to make the run, which sees the Spartans maintain possession as St. Leo again, for the first time in our match, has had a good little spell here in terms of going forward, so maybe something to come here for the Lions, even in these last few minutes of the first half, but most significantly the second half, which again seems to have been the half of the year for the Lions in terms of goal production, most notably with 3 second-half goals in the last time out as Brusaka got rolled up on a little bit there and rolls in pain. As athletic trainer Susan Cross heads out onto the field once again, it looked like out of that tackle that Brusaka put in, he lost a shin pad in the process. But it seems as though the Italian forward didn't suffer too much there with that challenge as he departs the pitch. The Spartan corner fired in there. Ball breaks to Spartan initially, but nonetheless, they're able to come off as Nicholas is left-footed. Sliced ball back forward is going to see St. Leo regain possession. So with Brusaka finally rejoining play here, a little nervy moments there for Coach Parker and his staff as their center back was off seeking some treatment, but good to see him back on his feet. Some nice link up here between Tiozzo and Ortiz is going to see St. Leo continue their surge forward towards the speedy Inigo. Chops in, plays the ball towards the feet. That is deflected ultimately off Tiozzo, who had made a near post run. A great ball was played to the feet of Ortiz as he fired in a left-footed effort that seemed goal-bound but clashed off Tiozzo, as St. Leo maybe ruined that opportunity a little bit there, as Tampa is able to initially keep this ball into play, but is unable to maintain it as, again, some great link-up play there in the midfield. Saw Diaz fire a ball out wide to Inigo, who chopped towards his byline and play a low-footed cross towards the center of the box that was met by Ortiz and acres of space, who had fired off a thunderous left-footed shot, but unfortunately for the Lions, Tiozzo was in the way of that trajectory as the ball ultimately clashed off the Italian forward behind for a Spartan goal kick, as an opportunity definitely goes away there for St. Leo as Telechea tries to link up with Tiozzo but is unable to do so. But some positive moments here the last 10 minutes of the first half here for the Lions, after much of this half has been dominated in terms of not only possession and momentum by the Spartans, but more so goal-scoring chances, as a physical challenge is put in there but deemed successful once again. Velasquez crosses a right-footed effort towards the near post, trying to link up with Diaz, but didn't have quite enough whip on that one to meet the on-rushing forward midfielder, as Long ball sent forward here by the Spartan goalie. That's going to force Kernack to win an initial header in, which he does so nicely. Ortiz putting in yet another physical challenge, which he is able to get away with. But Fernandez sees the ball break to his feet as their last 10 seconds of the first half count down here with Brusaka covering lines. That's going to see us head into halftime here. And a 0-0 first half scoreline. Again, some positive moments in the last 10 minutes or so for the Lions in terms of going forward after the Spartans had most notably 2 shots crash off of either side of Ceballos' goal off the post. But nonetheless, we head into halftime here scoreless between these Tampa rivals, as this gives you guys an opportunity to catch your breath a little bit after an action-packed first half. Grab a snack for the second half, and we'll be back with you quickly here after a short intermission that, again, sees St. Leo and Tampa locked in a 0-0 draw here after one half of action. Welcome back, Spartan and Lion fans alike, as we get ready to kick off our second half of action here at St. Leo Soccer Stadium. That saw an action-packed first half with the Spartans of Tampa University striking the St. Leo Lions goal post of either side of Ceballos, but luckily there for the Lions, neither shot from a Spartan forward found the back of the net. St. Leo struggled to really find their groove going forward for much of the first half until the last 10 minutes, where some great interplay on the far side of the field by Sebastian Inigo saw a number of opportunities going forward for St. Leo. Inigo played a great ball into the feet of Brandon Ortiz, who had a great left-footed shot traject towards goal, but an onrushing Lion had deflected the shot behind for a goal kick. Nonetheless, we end up getting ready to kick off this second half with a 0-0 score line, as St. Leo is going to start things off here in possession as Noah Quifty's return to action here. As Quifty's going to kick things off to start it here for the Lions. Expect Quifty to have an impact on the Lions' attack going forward here in the second half, as he seems to always do so. With Kernack trying to link up with Quifty early on. Under Dolce gets a touch on that one there for St. Leo. Second bite of the apple doesn't come off, as this ball is going to bounce initially. Kernack plays the feet, but for Ceballos, the graduate goalie, is going to be forced to play it out of play. And probably not ideally what St. Leo would have liked for in that situation, but nonetheless, they're able to get out of that unscathed. Sebastian Inigo with the ball at the feet, plays a nice ball in the lines to Jurgen Mendez. Dolce had a follow-up run there by Mendez, but decided to do a little half spin and keep possession. And now Rojas trying to keep possession for St. Leo there on the far side, and looked to have done so from this vantage point, but ultimately the far side sideline official said Rojas was the last one to touch that and loses possession, but Diaz gets it back here for the Lions. Again, once again, Rojas has a shout and a claim that he wasn't the last one to come off of, but nonetheless, Tampa maintains possession. On the women's side of things, Tampa and St. Leo were locked in a 1-1 first half matchup. Diaz spins there and again tries to link up with Quifty, but was unable to do so. Quifty puts on a press here as this ball is played forward towards the Lions' back line, but Brusaka deals with it nicely as no real danger was put on there. Fernandez tries to chip a ball forward here towards his fellow teammates. Really good shieldings put in there by Anel Kernack there to thwart that Spartan attack. Ceballos encouraged to pick up pace of play a little bit there after he had checked on just about every blade of grass in front of him within the 18-yard box, as he's finally restarting play here. as the Lions felt there was a Spartan touch. But initially there wasn't, but Mendez wins possession there after a great header from Kernak. Saw the Lions break with it. Ball's going to break here to the feet of Diaz. Dolce continues his run forward, fires a right-footed shot that gets deflected. Almost breaks to Quifty, who had stayed forward. Sebastian Inigo trying to get this one here for St. Leo, but it's unable to do so. Jurgen Mendez with a fair challenge right in front of our broadcast booth. Tiago Cordero tries to play a ball back out wide to Nel Rojas, unable to do so. Nonetheless, Jurgen Mendez continuing forward here. Diaz on the ball here for St. Leo. Dolce surveys position, finally able to link up with Rojas on the far side of the pitch. His left-footed shot's deflected, and is going to go out of play for the first corner of the second half. As some quick play there by the Lions sees them with their first opportunity from the corner. Flag on this near side. As Diaz and Inigo stand over this one. Diaz's cross is played in towards the near post, but has a little bit too much whip on it as it crashes into the side netting. An opportunity missed there for the Lions, which you never like to see, as, again, in the ever-competitive Sunshine State Conference, any chance to go towards goal could prove to be the difference. So whether that's a set piece in the field or a corner kick, more often than not, goals are hard to come by considering the competition that you're up against night in and night out. So hopefully not too many more missed opportunities there for the Lions as they get play restarted here on this far side of the field with a throw in there. Jared Sabarski, after picking up that first half yellow card, maintains on the pitch for the Lions. St. Leo through this first 6 minutes of action here in the second half, doing a much better job putting the Spartan defense under some pressure after it was their defense that saw most of the attack coming their way. Great tackle put in there by Ander Dolce as he continues to run forward, but the Spartans goalie is quick to hop off his line. Again, Dolce had put a great challenge in there and saw the ball break in a foot race towards the Spartan goal, but was unable to win it. As the ball continues to bounce around here. Diaz wins this one back. Again, some pressure put on by the Lions forces a Spartan mistake. Diaz tries to chop in, falls to the pitch, but is waved off there. Kernak unable to do so. The Spartan coaching staff yelling out to their side to raise the level here as, again, the Lions have started the second half on the front foot, which has caught Tampa a little bit by surprise, I think, in terms of what we saw in the tail of the tape in the first half with St. Leo on their back heels for much of it. Great feet put in here by Diaz as he tries to switch play, but he leaves it short, which is going to spur a Spartan counterattack. Ball just doesn't come off quite perfectly enough there for Tal, but he's stuck with it there and earns his side a throw in. Tampa with an opportunity breaking here outside the box, which looked like a shooting opportunity, but they opted to switch play, which is going to force Nel Rojas into a challenge. Chipped cross towards the back post, requires a Lion defender to come in, which Inigo had made a little bit of a mistake with there and put the ball back across his box, but luckily Mendez was there to deal with that one as he heads it back to Ceballos. as St. Leo again maintains this scoreless matchup so far. But the tail of the tape could change very quickly here as a handball against the Spartans on that goal kick from Ceballos is going to see St. Leo with a free kick opportunity, which Diaz takes quickly here. Plays to the feet of Dolce, who surveys his options. Actually, it looked like Diaz had played it back to where the field official was happy with the ball positioning. So play actually now starts and regains as Quifty tries to get played in there between the lines. Sobarski's header doesn't come off. Dolce's leg in behind in terms of backtracking after that missed header there from Sobarski. Spartans with a chance here on the outside of the box. Brusaka with a commanding header to put that ball right back out where it came from. Spartan throw in there, but again, you see some mistakes here the last couple minutes by the Lions have given Tampa some opportunities from outside the box, which they've opted not to take so far, but not something you want to see if you're Coach Parker and the rest of the coaching staff, as this ball gets played out of play by Kernack. Again, we talked about Kernack playing that left back position in the first half, and it actually looks like Kernack has slid back into his familiar center back position here to start the second half, with Harrison Taylor departing the field for the Lions. Hopefully nothing injury related, as again we talked about in that first half with Taylor dealing with a number of injuries all year long for the Lions that's limited his action throughout the season. So you hope for the best there for Harrison and hope that it's just a tactical adjustment made by Coach Parker and his staff, as Mendez does well there. Inigo tries to get on this one here, chops in on his right foot, and initially wins it there, was pushed off it there with some physicality there. That's been, again, the name of the game so far. Inigo doing well there to regain possession, tried to push it to Quifty, but nothing was on there for the Lions. A brawl is played over the top here that's going to force Brusaka into a headed challenge. Again, nothing waved there in terms of a foul by field official, even though play had seemed to stop a little bit. Nonetheless, Quinn charges forward here for the Spartans. He plays a ball out wide. That's going to see a ball fired out that was deemed initially a Spartan throw-in, but the field official determined there was a deflection in the process that sees St. Leo regain possession, as two Spartan coaches rise to their feet to voice their dismay over that decision. This ball fired forward here towards Quifty from the throw-in. Brusaka switches play there for the St. Leo. Sobarski tries to link up with Mendez. Unfortunately, isn't able to do so. This play continues here. Foster, who had been a menace towards the Lions' back line in the first half, charges forward and is waved up here as Diaz can't quite get that one to come off, as St. Leo again tries to continue their momentum going forward, but the past couple minutes has seen Tampa turn the screws a little bit and pick the intensity back up. Nice feet put in there by Brusaka as Mendez tries to find an option, but it seems there's only black jerseys around him for the time being. But a great switch of play till Dolce in the middle sees the forward midfielder with plenty of space forward. He opts to play the ball out wide to Anel Rojas as the forward tries to get in across here for the Lions, but Foster backtracks nicely there from his attacking position for the Spartans as he wins that back. Fernandez switches play nicely here for the Spartans, who charge forward. Right-footed shot is fired in there by number 7, Arnaldo Zakiri there for the Spartans, but it's right at Ceballos as he deals with this, as Nick Sikevich joins Coach Parker up on the sideline for the Lions as they shout out instructions to try and get their boys to pick up the pace of play. Rojas sees the ball at his feet once again as Tiago Cordero looks and picks his head up. A ball played in behind as Diaz had tried to time his run to perfection behind the line, but opted into an offside position as Luca Tiozzo gets ready to join the action for the Lions, along with a double substitution here for the Spartans as number 6 Kraft gets ready to rejoin the action along with number 11 Sala, as now Coach Parker brings Federico Telechea up to the sideline as well to get ready. So stop and play there. Saw some time tick away, but Tampa's ready to restart things. Goal kick here for Ceballos is going to bring on this double substitution for both sides. As
double sub for the Lions, checking in number 4, Luca Tiozzo, and number 8, Federico Telechea.
Telechea and Tiozzo join the pitch for the Lions.
11, Amga Sula.
Ceballos again opting to push his line forward as he sends a ball deep into the Spartans' half. And St. Leo trying to find a real clear-cut opportunity going forward. They've had a few balls break to feet, but not necessarily in terms of shooting chances. Ceballos with the ball played back to him as Tiozzo's going to rise to this one and try to win it, but is unable to do so. Anigo putting these Spartans under some pressure. Quifty trying to keep the ball to this side of the field, but a little pass in between the lines sees Tampa break this Lions pressure. Tiozzo tries to deal with this initially. Unable to do so. Tiozzo's going to be back into action here for the time being, but ball doesn't come off. Rojas slides in to try to win that back, but is unable to do so. A second sliding tackle doesn't come off as well. Tampa continues their surge forward. This ball is going to break here nicely for the Spartans as they have a shot here through Fernandez that takes a deflection. Goes wide of Ceballos' post. The chop's put in there by a Spartan forward. The fresh substitute Kraft, who found himself with some space after that chop to his left foot, but his left-footed effort was fired high and wide, much to the happiness of Ceballos in goal. As, again, some dangerous mistakes in the back by St. Leo has found them with a number of scary moments. Ceballos fires a ball forward. That, again, has consistently been met by Tampa as they've shared a large amount of the first balls won as well as the second balls won. But here we see Tiago Cordero winning that one nicely. Luca Tiozzo tries to hold off Morales in the back for the Lions, but they're unable to do so. Anigo trying to win this one back here. The Lions with a sliding effort isn't able to do so. Telechea steps in twice there looked to seem to have won the ball with his finger wave in the meantime, but gives away a foul in an extremely dangerous position here for the Lions defense. As you can imagine that the Spartan captain, Fernandez, will be well within his shooting distance here. Again, this goal has seen a number of free kicks fired in by Lions opponents thus far this season, most notably a left-footed effort from a Eckert Triton player that snuck in on Ceballos' near post that evened things up and ultimately saw the Lions begin their downfall to defeat. So hopefully a shot from Fernandez here goes wide of Ceballos' pull, as he had plenty of zip on that one, but skied it high and to the right as the Lions escape danger once again for the time being. Ceballos once again opting to push his line forward. Anigo put under some pressure there, would seem to have been a little bit of a foul, but nonetheless nothing comes off. Rojas clips a Spartan center back there as Valbuena picks up a foul against the Lions. Jared Sabarski is going to be called into action here for St. Leo. And is unable to regain possession for the Lions, but Dolce does what Sabarski couldn't and deflects a ball off of a Spartan player there for a St. Leo throw-in. 20 minutes have passed here in the second half with neither side really having a clear-cut opportunity, but the Spartans are trying to change that adage here with an overlapping run on this near side with a flicked header by Kraft crashing off Ceballos' crossbar. Ceballos forced into a diving save. Ball sent back in. Volleyed effort by Fernandez. Keeps the ball in play as the Lions hold on for dear life here with Tampa firing off a number of shots. Telechea follows up with a header here as this left-footed cross is sent back in towards Fernandez. St. Leo trying to push Tampa as far back away from the goal as possible after Kraft's header crashes off the crossbar there. So not only has both of Ceballos' posts been hit, but now his crossbar as well. As again, a matter of inches could see Tampa with a 3-0 lead, but nonetheless 0-0 we stay as Luca Tiozo charges forward here for the Lions, switches play out wide to Noah Quifty. As a big forward tries to put a ball over the top towards Einer Dolce, fires in a right-footed shot that finds the back of the goal for a Lions goal! As St. Leo opens up our scoring with a great chipped ball over the top from Noah Quifty, finding the on-rushing Einer Dolce, who chipped right-footed effort, crashed off the post, and found the back of the net for the Lions, who gained the lead here in the second half of action, much against the run of play, as St. Leo finds themselves ahead thanks to Einer Dolce's second half goal, which again, just 30 seconds ago might not have been the case with the Spartans crashing a headed effort off of Ceballos' goal. But nonetheless, full credit to the Lions as they responded quickly. Played a ball out wide to Noah Quifty, who chipped the ball over a Spartan defender that met the foot of Einer Dolce, who was able to beat the on-rushing goalie for the Spartans and get a shot into the back of the net to give Coach Parker's St. Leo Lions squad a 1-0 lead here in the second half, which again may calm things down here for the Lions in terms of the momentum shift that was beginning to start with Tampa really charging down on the Lions' goal. But nonetheless, that's why you play the game and stay with it, as St. Leo finds themselves with a 1-0 lead thanks to Ander Dolce, as play gets ready to kick back off here in the second half. As St. Leo again tries to build off now the momentum that they found rather quickly, with the Spartans trying to equalize here after, again, Tampa has seen a number of great efforts fall to their feet ahead as they've struck Ceballos' post both sides and his crossbar. Fair challenge put in there by Tiozo. Sees Quifty charge forward. The forward gets bumped in off the back. And initially what looked like was going to be a Spartan goal kick, but a little confusion there in the back between a Spartan defender and their goalie. Sees St. Leo with a corner kick opportunity, which, again, they would love to make up for their last loss of opportunity off a corner from a similar position here in the second half, as with Diaz out of play, is going to see goal scorer Dolce be given corner responsibilities. He fires in a right-footed cross that's met by a Spartan head initially. Telechea plays a ball back out wide to Dolce, who tried to get back into an onside position but was unsuccessful in doing so. As after that goal, Coach Parker has stayed to his feet to try and, again, keep this momentum-miss swing that almost came out of nowhere here by the Lions up, as St. Leo looks to charge forward here with Walsh coming on in a substitute role and trying to win a free kick there, but was unable to do so. Excuse me, that was Ruiz there, as Tampa continues to charge forward. Sub for both sides here, as goal scorer Ander Dolce is going to depart the pitch here. Full credit to Ander for a great charging run forward and the ability to beat the on-rushing Spartan goalie. Saw the midfielder get his Lions side in front. Again, this is a position St. Leo has found themselves in a number of times this year, most notably on their home pitch with second half leads, but have let a number of points slip. If you date all the way back to when they were the number 9 team in the country in that top 10 bout against number 2 PBA, their home matchup versus Rollins as well, and another ranked matchup, and then versus St. Petersburg full Eckert. So hopefully the Lions can hold on to things here as Tampa tries to equalize here from this near side crossing position, but is unable to do so. Again, if you're Coach Parkin aside, the key is definitely to hold a tight defensive line and tight midfield, but you don't want to get pushed back too far in terms of your defensive half, where for the last 19 minutes and change of regular time action, you're in a straight defensive role, as the likelihood of a Spartan cross, deflected effort, whatever the case may be, finding the back of the net increases with every second that St. Leo stays in their defensive shape, which they're going to be forced into a corner situation here with Tampa gaining a corner kick that they take quickly and opt to play short, as Foster steps over this one, shows some more great feet, tries to keep the ball into play but is unable to do so as that ball rolled out of play there. That's going to give St. Leo a chance to push forward here and melt some more time off this clock. Again, for anyone that may have just tuned in to catch our last 15 minutes plus of action, Tampa Spartans have been the more dangerous of the two sides since things kicked off here, striking not only Ceballos' crossbar but both sides of the post. But nonetheless, the Lions have been the only side thus far to be the benefactor of converted efforts, which they look to build on here, with Quifty picking his head up, playing a ball out wide to Velasquez, who tried to send a cross back in but wasn't on the same wavelength with his forwards. But as I was continuing there, again, Tampa has hit every inch of Ceballos' goal tonight, but Ander Dolce, the only player on the field throughout action, able to find the back of the net. Which has to make the Lions fans in attendance as well as Lions fans tuning in beyond happy as players stop.
Checking in for Tampa, number 25, Lori Vasa.
Substitution here for the Spartans. Cordero plays a ball forward towards Ruiz. They tried to chop a ball back towards the byline and won a handball in the meantime. As Federico Telechea is going to be given free kick duties here. The left-footed in-swinger trying to find the white uniforms that have made their way forward and build this St. Leo lead. As Telechea gets ready to fire in a left-footed cross towards the back post. That's met by, hard to see from this angle, but it looks like that cross was met by a Lions forward who had made his way towards the box, as it was Velasquez that headed that one back towards goal, but his effort was wide. As Coach Parker gets ready to make another substitution, as this ball is going to be won back here initially by the Lions, with Ruiz putting on another good shift of press there for St. Leo. Quifty following suit here, trying to backtrap. Tampa quick to take this throw in there, but the Lions are there to match as Thiago Cordero continues some good work. Luca Tiozzo trying to charge forward here for the Lions, wins his side a free kick. Luca Tiozzo getting a round of applause there from the entire coaching staff. Sean Quinn picking up an injury here for the Spartans. Spartan on-field players trying to rally the troops as they look to get back into this game. As again, if you're going off the run of play, it seemed as Tampa was knocking on the door to open the scoring here, but boom, out of nowhere, St. Leo sparked a counterattack that saw Noah Quifty with a beautiful chipped through pass over the top of the Spartan back line that Ander Dolce was first to for the Lions and fired a shot in off the post as that ball nestled in the back of the net. Quifty fires a ball forward here that Tiozo is going to try and pick up, but is unable to do so as Tampa continues to charge forward. Tiozo is going to be penalized here for a late foot and pick himself up a yellow card as Tampa tries to take the free kick a little more rapidly than what field official would have liked, as he needed to finish the booking in the process. As Tampa gets ready to make another substitution here. Head into our last 15 minutes of action here with Tampa on the front foot trying to score and even things back up. Ball's going to be played forward here that tries to link up with Quifty there as Velasquez had pointed his forward mate to make a run in behind, but nothing in store there for St. Leo as some good link-up play in the midfield. Sees Jurgen Mendez charge forward. Ball played out wide to Velasquez as Mendez gets the ball returned to him. Tries a switch play here to Walsh, but his ball's left a little short as the substitute left back picks up a yellow card within the first couple minutes of actions there, but definitely a tactical yellow. This played there by the left back for the Lions as he doesn't take that foul. It sparks a dangerous counterattack for the Spartans as the Lions were out of position a little bit there. Tampa's restarting action here. Ball being played out wide here by the Spartans. It sees Quifty and Tiozo partner up here for a high press, trying to regain their side possession. Tampa's able to deal with that pressure as they try to switch play here out wide and are able to do so. As, again, Walsh is forced to be careful after picking up that yellow card, so he can't be too physical here on his challenge and run the risk of a second yellow, which would put the Lions to 10 men for this last 10 minutes plus of action. Tampa, as you can see, has charged their whole line forward as Morales has made the run up from his center back position. A challenge is put in there, and yet another sliding challenge there by Kernack as the ball had broken to Kraft there from outside the box, and he saw the pupils of Ceballos. But Kernack makes a great sliding effort to deflect that one behind for a Spartan corner, which gives St. Leo a chance to catch their breath as, again, Tampa has ramped things back up, and that corner is fired towards Ceballos' Neil post that he deals with as Sabarski is going to clear that one out. And Coach Parker gets ready to bring on Diaz and Rojas to see these last 10 minutes plus of action out for St. Leo, who, again, are fresh off a come-from-behind victory in their last matchup. Saw them pick up their first vital road 3 points in the Sunshine State Conference, so trying to follow suit here with a valuable 3 points at home against conference rival Tampa as Coach Parker
For the Lions, checking in number 10, Mauro Diaz, and number 12, Anel Rojas.
brings on Diaz and Rojas here. Good shifts put in there by Tiozo and Ruiz from their substitute roles. As Diaz is going to be called into action right away. Quifty chests this ball down, continues a run forward, but Velasquez had already made his run in behind and so was unable to pick up the pieces that Quifty left. As the ball is played to the middle of the pitch here, Fernandez, after a bolstering first 15 minutes of action for the Spartan captain, saw him crash a shot off the post and be involved in a number of different goal-scoring opportunities. Has seen the Spartan captain fade a little bit from the game, but he found himself with an opportunity there going forward towards Ceballos' goal and was able to link up with a teammate. But that Spartan effort, skies high of the crossbar. Walsh tries to pick up the pieces here. Diaz hops in, foul suit. Rojas, with his fresh legs, putting this Spartan line under some pressure as we head into our last 10 minutes of action. Again, as a reminder, no extra time this year in college soccer, as if the Spartans find an equalizer, it'll be up to the Lions to prove to be the difference during regulation and gain all 3 points here from their hold field position. Early cross is put in here. Walsh is called into action, heads out. Diaz first to that one, keeps play going, picks his head up, going to try and link up with Rojas here, but is unable to do so. Rojas continues his charge, puts in a challenge on Morales, who keeps his feet. As the Spartans switch play quickly here, Fernandez starting to get his foot back into this game very quickly. Diaz picks up the short pass there. Tampa continuing to surge forward here on this near side byline. Walsh doing a nice job there for the Lions, but Tampa picks up the loose pieces, fires in a right-footed cross towards the back post. That doesn't meet anyone initially, but the forward left back for the Spartans able to reach that one. As Coach Parker and his staff continue to shout out instructions to see their boys through. A chance here for the Lions to step their line forward. As this ball is brought down nicely here by a Spartan. Ball played into between the lines, forces Kernack into a great challenge there. That's Fernandez found himself with some space. Ball has a little bit too much on it there for Mendez as St. Leo shoots themselves in a foot here with giving away possession. Ball played back to an onrushing Spartan. Low right-footed effort is saved and dealt with nicely there for Ceballos as Nico Gamel fired in a right-footed effort that didn't have much on it there and was saved by Ceballos, but some dangerous moments there for St. Leo as they tried to get out from the back, but had a little bit too much on all their passes and weren't able to link up with each other and gave away possession. That the Spartans, again, found themselves with an opportunity to score on Ceballos as they start to rack up shots with 20 shots on the scoreboard. To my left, underneath a Spartan name, but most importantly a 0 next to their name as the ball's played in behind to Rojas, but Rojas had creeped into an offside position as Ander Dolce gets ready to return to play here for the Lions, along with a double substitution for the Spartans. That's going to see Zakiri and Ariza join the play. But until now, both sides keep their 11 on the pitch as this ball is played in behind here towards a Spartan onrushing forward who picks up their heads. Overlapping run, sees a glimmer of space initially, and now Rojas has a chance to charge this one down here. But The Spartan goalie does nicely there as Adam Foster deals with the initial ball. Again, some stingy last few minutes here, getting ready to ramp up as Tampa charges forward looking for an equalizer, and St. Leo tries to pick up a consecutive victory for another valuable 3 points for the Lions in the Sunshine State Conference as we head into our last 6 minutes and 30 seconds of action with the Ceballos goal kick fired forward, trying to push his boys forward. Telechea picks up the second ball there, but is unable to link up with Quifty, but a misplay there in midfield by the Spartans is going to see the ball roll all the way back and out of play for a throw-in as that ball going out of play allows St. Leo and Tampa alike to make their substitutions as Sebastian Anigo joins the substitution as well.
The Lions in now, number 2, Andrew Dolce, and number 37, Sebastian Inigo.
Couple Lions here grabbing a drink off this throw-in opportunity. He has charged forward, chips a ball in towards Quifty. They're unable to do so, and the Lions are a little bit stretched here. Okay, Tampa has a chance to counter. So some defensive duties have to be put in here by the Lions, which Walsh and Dolce are first two as Tampa cuts the ball back across. Tampa slowing things down a little bit as they look to continue to build, as all three line coaches are to their feet now, trying to figure out exactly what they need to do in terms of substitutions and tactics to see their side through these last 5 minutes. Tampa with some quick interplay here, trying to link up. Ball's chipped over towards the top. Morales has made his way forward all the way back from his center back position as substitutes have allowed the big center back to stay forward. Anigo just showing some nice control here for the Lions, which is going to spark a counter attack for St. Leo, which he switches out wide towards Rojas. Rojas picks up his head, tries to fire in an early cross, which saw Quifty peel off towards the back post, followed by Diaz on rushing hard. But nonetheless, that ball going out of play may be the best thing in store for St. Leo at the time being, as more time ticks away here as we head into 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the game clock, with St. Leo with an opportunity from a throw-in. Coach Parker encouraging his boys to dig deep and grind out this victory that's seen a physical matchup all night long, and the Lions capitalizing on their only real major opportunity of the game thus far. So hopefully all their hard work that they've put in from the defensive side of things keeps a clean sheet as Tampa continues to charge forward continuously. As the ball's back into play here, Morales reverse back into his center back position. Big Harry Taylor rises up for that one. You see the value the big Australian provides for the Lions in the defensive side of things. Diaz tries to switch play there to Anigo, but is unable to do so successfully. St. Leo again just trying to take the sting out of things a little bit here in terms of the Spartans' attack, but the Spartans continue to charge forward. Walsh put in a dangerous position there. Harrison Taylor slides across to deal with the initial ball, but again, St. Leo getting pinned back further and further here. Coach Parker trying to encourage his boys to force as many back passes as possible. And now Rojas trying to get an intervention there to regain possession, but unable to do so as Tampa continues to go a little bit of a heavy leg look to the Lions side, so definitely trying to get through here. Nice interplay here by the Spartans. Fernandez shows some nice feet, plays the ball towards the byline, low right-footed cross, doesn't find anyone but the goal scorer, Andrew Dolce, who fires a long ball forward, which again is going to see some more time tick off the clock as, again, the Tampa bench and Lions bench have gained their footing, trying to encourage their sides to a positive result for either side as 2 minutes approach on our game clock, with St. Leo holding on, scratching, clawing, trying to get all 3 points here. over conference rival Tampa, but Tampa will not go away without a fight as they continue to push forward. Fernandez tries to chip in a teammate. Ander Dolce sees the ball to the freeze. Anel Rojas had no idea what Dolce had in mind as he stopped playing. Clock stops here as the Lions have a little bit of a head scratcher there from the back, but don't get penalized for the time being as 1 minute and 33 seconds are left on our clock, with St. Leo on the verge of picking up a second consecutive Sunshine State Conference victory. Talked about the importance of rallying off consecutive victories here for the rest of the year to spark plug the Lions' resurgence and what this could do with the Lions on the verge of doing just that. But nonetheless, they're going to be forced into a number of defensive shifts here in this last stretch, especially as Tampa continues to fly their players forward, holding nothing more than 2 defensive backs right now, with a number of players inch forward. Little interplay, tries to see a ball into the feet of a Spartan player. Telechea wins that one quickly. 1 minute left on the clock here at St. Leo Soccer Stadium. Telechea puts in a sliding tackle again nicely there, but Tampa maintains possession as St. Leo again tries to hold on. Telechea, another sliding effort, sees that ball roll out of play. Tampa's throw-ins taken quickly as time is against the Spartans for the time being. A deep cross is going to be chipped in there. That Morales meets with his head. That's going to force Ceballos in off his goal line. That Ricky comes off his goal line and secures as St. Leo heads in to the last 30 seconds. He's going to push everyone in a Lions jersey forward. Ceballos launches a ball forward. That's going to bounce, much to the happiness of Quifty as he's able to reach that one with his head. That ball is going to be flown up into the air as we head into our last 10 seconds of action with St. Leo trying to pull out the last 3 points. Kernak's able to do that. Long-range effort is wide of the post, and St. Leo picks up a valuable Sunshine State Conference victory in consecutive fashion as conference opponent and rival Tampa makes the trip up to St. Leo Soccer Stadium, but see the Lions come out victorious for a second consecutive night in Sunshine State Conference play as St. Leo follows up a 3-2 second half comeback over the Embry-Riddle Eagles with a valuable, almost make-or-break season type victory over the Tampa Spartans as St. Leo found themselves up against it most of the match. Again, things started off quickly with St. Leo with a penalty shout, but that shout was waved off by field official. After that, Tampa controlled much of the narrative for the game, striking Ceballos' post either side in the first half, but not finding the back of the net. And then, again, Fernandez was quick to action in the second half for the Spartans as they then fired a headed effort off of Ceballos' goal, but rather than hang their heads and let Tampa continue to build, St. Leo responded quickly with a counterattack with a ball sent out wide to this near side to Noah Quifty, who put in a beautiful chipped ball over the top towards the onrushing Ander Dolce, who found the back of the net to open things up in terms of the scoring. St. Leo held on for dear life in the last 23 minutes of action in terms of their defensive duties and maintain a clean sheet and pick up a vital 3 points in Sunshine State Conference victory that sees the Lions on the double in terms of victories, which exactly like I had mentioned early on in our broadcast was what Coach Parker and his staff felt was vital as his boys gained some more belief after picking up a big-time victory over Embry-Riddle in their previous matchup and continue their winning ways tonight. I'd like to thank all the Spartan and Lion fans alike for tuning in tonight as Ricky Ceballos gives a pump to the fist to the camera gets a little shower there from Kernack in the back as the Lions spirits continue to stay high. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Hope to see everyone on our next broadcast as we continue our Sunshine State Conference matchups through the rest of this fall season. Again, everyone, thanks one last time from Spencer Hankey and all of St. Leo University for tuning in tonight as St. Leo knocks off Tampa by a score of 1-0 thanks to an Honor Dolce second half goal. I'd like to thank everyone one last time, and as always, go Lions.